on the beach in the Caribbean with the cheeseburgers. Cheeseburgers, cheeseburgers.
Oh,
You, Buffy.
hi.
The bake wants the log.
You've caught me watching Yacht Rock, episode 11, which is a stark reminder that I'm being overlapped from the screen here and need to start today's episode of That is Censored, and that is a sinkhole. Censored versus Sinkhole. CVS, beware. We're going to be using your logo soon in a highly unauthorized fashion. And big tech, beware. Since you can't break the internet, but the internet can break you, you may want to watch your step, leave the country, stuff like that, right? We found a periodicity, and when I say we, I mean some astronomers. I don't exactly know who it is, but they found a black hole with a 9-hour periodicity. Pretty funky stuff there. Thanks to the XMM Newton and the Chandra X-ray Observatory. That's the European Space Agency and NASA. Killing it. A weird 9-hour meal plan for this black hole, or, well, a 9-hour fountaining, a 9-hour emission plan. It's emitting X-rays. Now, this one is not on the transients list that we look at daily on this channel, so let's just move on to talk about what we mean. What is an active galactic nucleus? Well, it's a galactus where it's a galactus. It's not a galactus. It's a galaxy, which has certain properties and certain perspectives. So the way a galaxy appears in terms of things like luminosity from Earth completely has to do with whether you're viewing this from an edge-on perspective or from a perpendicular perspective, so to speak, here, where you're looking down the jet, or if you're kind of off to the side of the jet, as we are with this famous black hole image that's been all over the news in the past year. And let's get slightly more in depth here. So the galaxy in the paper is a type 2 cipher. And so, for example, NGC 3801 is a type 2 cipher. Here's a type 1 cipher. This is I contrasted this up a little bit, and just to give you a little visual of how three-dimensional these things look. And keep in mind, folks, those are all composite images, and we do have links in the description below the video to these Wikipedia articles. So, yeah, so Seyferts, these are galaxies that were looking almost perpendicular at the galactic core, which makes it look super bright. And the Seifert 2s, the characteristic there is that they have an extra bright core in them there. So read all about that if you like, where you're in a situation where you're perpendicular to the radiation of that torus field. Anyway, back to that supermassive radio source there that's emitting on a 9-hour schedule. It's called GSN 069. And so that's an interesting one, and we'll be looking for that to be appearing on the list of transients soon. It will end up on the list. That's not a forecast, that's a guarantee. And let's just look up some transients just for fun. How about Sagittarius A star? This is at the Burst Alert Telescope, the Neil Gorell Swift Observatory. And there's the recent transients from Sagittarius A star, the core of the Milky Way galaxy. Once again, if you're viewing the video from a different galaxy, plane of existence, etc., please leave a comment. The missing data appears on all the transients here. We'll see if they're able to reinstate that data. Feel free to email the observatory if you like. There are links in the description to the observatory. Let's move on. Two different stuff. But before we move on to more sciencey stuff, let's look at some more non-sciencey stuff like social media. Are you on Facebook? Check us out, facebook.com/smAsho. Are you on Patreon? We do put up public posts, folks. We do put up public posts. And by the way, if you're watching this video on the premiere, it's not shot live, but we're viewing it live. In other words, if you leave a comment, there's a distinct possibility we can reply to it while the video is being displayed. However, don't let that distract you from the video. Patrons see it first. It's $9.95 a month. I apologize. I misrepresented. It's $9.99 a month. It's not fraud. It's not fraud. We want everybody to live long and prosper. Okay, so become a patron. Don't join at the $1 level. It's going away on Halloween, and we don't want that to scare the crap out of you. Now, in our news crawls, we found a site called Sovereign Man, sovereignman.com. There's some interesting information there, and we've got links to this in the description also. Check out the Zero Hedge article. U.S. expected to start using super short carbines in a 5.5-inch barrel configuration, 8-inch barrel, and 11-inch barrel configurations. Coming in 3 different calibers. We're expecting to see this in standard 5.56 NATO, as well as in 300 Blackout, a giant diameter round. That's pretty low velocity. And in 7.62 by 39. A wonderful idea, as that is AK-47 ammunition. It sounds like a brilliant idea, and it's pretty good. I watched the review here. Let's play a snippet. Here's some of the particulars of the breakdown. It's got a different buffer system, which is what allows it to be so small. It's exceedingly small.
So that buffer just goes right into the back of the bolt carrier.
Sounds like a pretty good reason to get one of them tax stamps for a short barrel rifle. What thinks you? Man, don't ban us, YouTube. It's part of the news. All right, let's move on to more stuff here. How about the Digital Trends article? Check out the new iPhone 6 Model 6000. It's all cameras. Oh my God! Did you know? We covered this yesterday, but I can't stay off it. That it's triggering people's trypophobia. Trypophobia. It's not acid trypophobia. No, these people act like they're on acid when they see holes in things. Trypophobia is defined as a fear or disgust of closely packed holes. Healthline said the fear is not yet recognized as an official phobia, but nonetheless, the Twitterverse freaked out when it saw the iPhone's new cameras. Oh, yeah. Jess is so happy for Gyler on Twitter, says, I have a really bad trypophobia, but the iPhone 11 camera doesn't bother me, y'all. Stop lying. Now, this is what I really wanted to revisit again today, because this is just some of the best material I've ever seen in my life. Common things that set off a people's trypophobia include honeycombs, oh, lotus seed pods, oh, a cluster of eyes, no, coral, oh, strawberries, 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 seriously. If you know somebody who's trypophobic, folks, make sure you don't show them a diagram of human skin. Anyway, if you know somebody who's trypophobic, certainly do not show them a diagram of human skin, as if they figure out that they're wearing a cluster of holes on their entire body, they may attempt to skin themselves. Trypophobia. Oh! Tell me if please leave a comment. Is that the scariest phone you've ever seen? Oh! Oh! It's got a telephoto lens, and a regular lens, and an ultra-wide-angle lens. Oh my gosh! Halloween's coming. Time to dress up as an iPhone 11 Pro. Did you watch our earlier video where we talked about this maniac from Sweden? who's advocating actual cannibalism. Oh yeah, actual cannibalism to battle climate change. Christian Westbrook, give us a ring. It's, oh man. Science alert, science alert, nonsense alert, nonsense alert. Science alert is ready for the, we're talking about sciencealert.com here. Sciencealert.com is ready for the global hashtag climate strike. Will you go on strike on September 20th? Because, hold on, let me get the premise for you here. Apparently, it starts out with lying to the kids. This generation of school students is living at an unprecedented time in human history. While that is true, since it is a neo-renaissance and astrophysics is getting rewritten, with each year in their short lives hotter than the last, with ice at the poles of our planet continuing to melt at an alarming rate. Well, let's see how melted the planet is, shall we? Here's Antarctica. And that's more than 5 meters of snow around there. Now, winter has just ended there, so granted, you would expect it to be pretty snowy and icy there at Antarctica. Now, the mainstream media keeps covering how melted Greenland is. And by the way, if you watch our videos from a month ago, there was no snow in this area a month ago. And now there's already 0.9 inches. But if you go just right here, how much snow do we have there, folks? More than 5 meters. And summer has just ended. It should be at the low point, which it is, which is more than 5 meters of snow there, and more than 5 meters of snow there, and more than 5 meters of snow there. But these areas here, oh my gosh, only 2.1 inches there. It's catastrophically melting. Right here on the coast, 150.8 inches. Oh my gosh, global warming, global warming. I don't know where they're getting this stuff. I guess out of a crazy bank of lies. Here's a great image on globalcryospherewatch.org. There's the snow depicted in white and the ice depicted in yellow. Now, notice that the northern hemisphere is right at the end of its summer. And do you see what I see all around there? All around. See all that snow and ice up there? There's your catastrophic melting of the ice caps, folks. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's hand-wringing time. It's the planet's so hot that it's cold. That must be what's happening. Is that the way it works, folks? It's so hot that it's cold. Oh, geez. Wring your hands. Clutch your pearls. Reduce your carbon emissions. Are you kidding me? There's your melting ice, folks. You can see ice is already building once again. And, I mean, ice was pretty low in 2016. But look where ice was in 2017. Look where ice was in 2018. Quite a bit of ice there, huh? Boy, it's been catastrophically melting. Catastrophically melting. While snow continues to fall at record levels. In the winter of 2017 to 2018, the winter of 2018 to 2019, we're talking about late springs, we're talking about early winters, 3 years in a row. And some of these climate saps are going to try to convince you that the planet's warming, while the Farmer's Almanac predicts a third record snowfall in the Northern Hemisphere. That's 3 in a row. This past winter broke the 2017 to 2018's record for snowfall in the Northern Hemisphere. If you think I'm making this stuff up, folks, here's the globalcryospherewatch.org article about it, along with the graph. Here it is. There's the 2017 to 2018 snow mass in the Northern Hemisphere. And look at, that's like 2 standard deviations outside of the mean there, folks. The dotted line inside the blue is the mean. And the snow from that year. And we got more snow this past winter. Anyway, there's the current data being plotted on the thing. Boy, it's... Notice how it's like an entire standard deviation above the average again? Wow, it's... Boy, what a hot planet we're living on. It's so hot it's cold, folks. It's so hot it's cold. By the way, here's the thermosphere index. Let me zoom that out. There's a thermosphere index graph, and you can see the thermosphere is very cold right now. Similar in cold to how cold it was at the last solar minimum, around 2009, when cosmic rays were at their actual highest. So, do you notice what I'm seeing here? Is it starting to add up, folks? Thermosphere, you know, that's the part of the atmosphere that the sun heats up directly. You could say the solar wind heats it up directly. And of course, there are many layers of the atmosphere. We're not going to get into it in this video, but notice how hot the thermosphere was in 1958 and how the overall trend is something like this. These are not good signs for certain things, folks. And having a lot of people believing that the planet's warming and that carbon dioxide has anything to do with it is a form of entropy and must be busted. Let's look at some more positive stuff, such as the new Gemini discovery of this interstellar comet, believed due to its funky orbit and funky speeds to be coming from, well, who knows where. But it's almost like Oumuamua Part 2. Links in the description to this article also. Believed to be the first ever interstellar comet. We got some great near-infrared images here of the Large Magellanic Cloud also, featured on this phys.org article, coming out of the Vista telescope from the European Space Agency. Let's play a clip and not get banned. The near-infrared will show us a lot more detail in the dust. And yeah, the Large Magellanic Cloud. If you live in the Northern Hemisphere, you may have never even seen it, at least not with the naked eye. Small satellite galaxy of the Milky Way. Links to this article also in the description. And it's a bonus feature. The last 11 hours or so of the local yellow dwarf here in 94 angstroms. We're going to zoom in on some features here. Shout out to Ben Davidson. Way to notice that sunspot. I don't think it ever got named. I'm not sure if there was an umbra. I certainly didn't see one, but we certainly did notice the latitude. Looking for this rising region over here, and not seeing too much there. Let's migrate me. All right, and I've become a migrant, so you're able to see that active region setting there. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks patrons especially. Look for that credit crawl coming soon. Please leave a comment on the post about being an associate producer, having your name listed if you'd like to see it listed on the syntax which you'd like to see it listed in. It is about that time to turn this thing out. Remember, when you're understanding the distinction between censorship and a sinkhole, don't drink it. If you drink, understand the distinction anyway. Just don't drive. Seriously, don't drive. And since it'll never be now again, may the censorship be at your back and on its knees. And may the atherosclerosis be absent from your capillaries.